Hello everybody, in this video we are going to be going over how to recognize OLL, okay? Now, due to the fact that there's so many of them and a lot of them are kind of the same thing, I'm going to be combining them all into just simple parts. So like you'll see here like 1 to 2, 3 to 4, however I put it. So that's how we're going to be recognizing all these, okay? And with all these up there, you will be able to click them at any time to go to a different one there, okay? Now, so you will need to know how to look at these here on the top. And one note is, you can always look at these, you know, just like PLL, you can always see them because it's never going to represent another case, okay? And the reason for that is because we need to know how many pieces need to be exposed, okay, to tell where the blue is, okay? So the blue is only on one piece, and in these back corners, only two of the pieces here are exposed. So that means blue can only be in one of the spots, which is why we can see that it'll only represent one. Now that doesn't apply for the one in the back, but because of the way the cube is, the one in the back will just be one that just sits there, you know, but you'll know it's that case and you'll just go through it, solving it, knowing that one is solved. So yeah, that's just a little bit of information there. So that's how we're going to recognize it, okay? And we're going to be going in numerical order for all the cases, okay? And if you need to know what the numerical order is, go look up the algorithm. You know, there's like a speed cubing book on it, or look them up on the internet for the different number cases, and just go to the one that corresponds to it. So let's get to it. Okay, now the first cases we have here are cases number 1 and 2. Okay, so we got number 1 here and number 2 on the right. Okay, so now these cases here, the biggest thing that makes it hard to recognize is if they're in the back, you know, and it's hard to see the other pieces on the other side, okay? Now, these are relatively easy cases to recognize, okay? So, now to recognize this one here over this one, the way we want to do that is, we look at it like this, and it's going to be like this or this, and it's kind of the same thing, but let's go over it, okay? So, when we look at it from this, we see we have a 1x3 bar with blue stickers here, and we don't have anything else paired up on that side, okay? But over here, we do have a corner that's exposed, okay, but no blue is exposed over here. So, that means the blue's in the back, forming another 1x3 bar. So that's how we recognize it here. And now for this one here, you recognize it in the same way like that. And another note is, if you see that you have a 1x2 bar here, in any spot on the cube without any corners solved, or any blue on the top, you'll know that it's case number 2. So, just to conclude and give you an overview of it, no blue stickers on the top, okay? 1x3 bar with no other corners exposed, and on this one, a 1x2 bar that you can see on any angle. So 1x2 bar and no blue stickers on the top. So that's how you recognize that case. Let's get to the next set. Okay, we got cases number 3 and 4. Okay. So we've got number 3 right here and number 4 over here, okay? Okay, so now here's what these cases are, okay? Now to recognize if it's either one of these cases, all we can see on the top is that the only blue that's exposed, you know, not including the center, is this corner right here, okay? So that's the biggest thing that'll tell if it's 3 or 4, okay? So easy to recognize there, no edges solved, only one corner solved on the top. Okay, but what's harder to recognize is which way it is. So whether this 1x2 bar is on the right or on the left, okay? So that's one of the biggest things that we have to recognize. So it's a little hard to explain of like which exact case it is, but the way we're going to do this is I'm going to say that it's going to be on the left and on the right, okay? So number 4 has it on the right, or no, left, and number 3 has it on the right, okay? Okay, so now flipping them over, okay? So we can see from this angle if the corner that's solved, if the edge, one of the edges right next to it is exposed, you know, and you can see it. If you see any blue on it, you know, on the corner right next to it, that can help you, okay? So now on this one here, we can see that it's exposed, so we automatically know that's where it is. But on this one, we have to go to the other side to do it. So that's how we can tell there. But when we go over here, it's a little bit harder, okay? Now, like I said, there was a 1x2 bar. Now, there's the exact same one on on the same axis, you know what I mean is, it'll look like this, it'll look like this here, and it'll look like this again. So that's what you need to be on the hunt for, okay? Look closely at the 1 by 2 bars it forms, okay? And however it looks here will look the exact same over here. So that means it'll look like that over here. So that's how you recognize these ones here. So let's get to the next case. Okay, the next cases that we have here are number 5 and 6. So number 5 is here and number 6 is here. Okay, now the easy way to tell that it's one of these is if you see on the top layer that we have no edges solved, but we have 2 blue corners solved that are adjacent to each other, like right here, okay? Now, the biggest thing that we need to look at is deciding whether it's number 5, where we have these 1 by 2 bars, or if it's number 6, where we have a 1 by 3 bar in the back. Okay, so that's what the main thing you need to know about this is. Okay, so now they're super simple to recognize, okay? So for this one here, we can recognize it from any angle because we can see that there's a 1 by 2 bar from any angle, as you can see. So whenever you see there's only 2 corners solved at the top, and you can see a 1 by 2 bar at any other spot, it's this one. Over here, if you see that we have those same corners, but we see that there's no 1 by 2 bar, that means it's number 6, where we have this 1 by 3 bar in the back. So it's very simple to recognize, really. So yeah, so let's get to the next case. Okay, this next case we're going to go over is number 7, okay? Now, there's no other case that looks the same as this, okay? So all we see here is we have no edges solved, and the only corners are solved are these ones, except instead of adjacent to each other, they're opposite from each other, so they're across, okay? Now, there is one thing that I need to tell you, though, okay? So, to make sure we don't get this mixed up, okay? So, I have the same case here, alright? So, we need to make sure we don't get it mixed up, because these look the exact same looking from the top, but we need to know this, because it's very important you don't do your algorithm in the wrong spot, okay? So, what you need to always look for are where these 1 by 2 bars are right here, okay? So, the way we do this is, on this one here, we don't see any 1 by 2 bars, okay? And that means that they're in the back right here, okay? So, but on every other angle, you'll be able to see them. Like, for example, this angle, you'll be able to see that they are right here, okay? From this one, you'll see it's here. And know that when you see that there are no when there's one 1 by 2 bar, the other one will be directly behind the corner, the solved corner. It's touching, okay? So that means it's right here. So that's how you're going to want to look for these. So make sure you know your algorithms well and know the spot you got to apply your algorithm at. So yeah, let's get to the next algorithm, or no, case. Okay, we've got our next set of cases here, which is 8, 9, 10, and 11, okay? So, these are cases that are also not too hard to recognize, okay? So, I'm just going to give you an overview of what the main part of it is. Okay, so now, the main thing about it is we have 2 edges solved that are across from each other and nothing else solved on it, okay? And there's 4 different ways that can appear and trick you, okay? Okay, so, we're going to get on to the first one, which is the easiest, which is number 10, okay? So, this is very easy because whenever you see that we have just a 1 by 2 bar here, that means that it's going to be this case, okay? And same thing goes with on the other side. So, as long as you see just one 1 by 2 bar, you know, that means it's automatically number 10. So, just no review. The only pieces solved on the top are 2 edges that are across from each other and a 1 by 2 bar down here. So, that's all it takes. So, yeah, this case is really easy. So, now I'm just going to get on to the rest of them. Okay, so, now, the problem with these ones are, they look similar, okay? So, now, apparently, these 2, which are number 8 and 9, they look similar because, as you can see, we have a 1 by 3 block in both of these spots here, okay? But here's the thing about it, okay? We see that there's a blue one in the back here. So, what we need to do is, on this one here, when you look at the 1 by 3 block, you'll see that, there are no, you won't see a blue sticker here. And if you don't see a blue sticker, it means it's, this case, number 8. So that's how you're going to want to recognize this one, okay? This one, on the other hand, is also easy. Now, you see that we have a 1 by 3 block here, like I said. But this time, the blue is exposed, which means that it's numbered 9, okay? So that's how we're going to want to recognize this one. So it's very simple, you know. So you should be able to recognize it like that. So just no review. The only pieces solved are 2 edges across from each other, 1 by 3 block, and just noticing the difference between these, okay? Works on this one at every angle, okay? So, yeah, let's get to the next part of it. Okay, so we're going on to the next angle of this. Now, the only case that looks similar to this is this one. It's number 11, okay? So, here's how we're going to look at it, okay? So, both of them look like this, okay? Where the blue stickers on the corners are on these parts here. Okay, so now on this one here, the way we want to look at it is like this. So on this one here, we see that there's no blue exposed over here, which means it's creating this 1 by 3 block. So if you can see blue on these 2 stickers here, it'll automatically mean that it's this case. So just an overview for this one here. You should have 2 edges solved with no corners solved, and they're across from each other. And then the only blue stickers from the corners you should see are right here. So that's how you're going to want to recognize that case. So all 4 of these cases. So let's get to the next set. Okay, so now here I've gotten the next cases, which are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Okay, this is 6 cases, and I'll tell you, this is the only time we're ever going to have to do this many cases at once, okay? So, just bear with this one here, okay? Okay, so, let's get on to the first one. Number 12 and 13. Okay, now, just a note is, a lot of these are mirrored images of them, so this, probably will go by fast, so technically there'd only be 3, but I'm just gonna go over them. Okay, so, now, for these cases here, we need to look closely at them, okay? So, all the cases that are here, all have, no corners solved and only has 2 edges solved that are adjacent to each other, okay? And now here's what we need to do for these ones here, okay? So when we look at it from this angle here, from the front, we can see that we have a 1 by 2 bar, okay? And now here's one thing that I don't want you to confuse it for. So don't confuse it for 14 and 15, because this, see this one here? This time it's over here, okay? Actually, it's better to show it on this. But you can see it's over here, but this time it's over here, okay? So that means that means it's this case here. If the corner it has is not touching one of the solved edges, okay? That's what you need to be careful of when you look at this, okay? Okay, so the next angle I'm going to be showing you is this one here. Now, don't get it confused for 16 or 17, okay? So we have an edge here, but the corner is not solved with either this edge or this edge. So there's no 1 by 2 block here, okay? So, here's what you need to look at, okay? So, look at the corner in the back here. So, we have blue right here. So, this one does not have blue in the back here. So, the blue is not exposed at all when it comes to this one here, okay? So, that's what you need to be careful of when looking at these, okay? Okay, so, now, this angle here is probably the hardest one, okay? So, this time we can get it confused for quite a bunch of them, okay? So, actually, it might be better to show it here. Okay, so we've got the, corners here. Now, here's the problem, okay? So, this one here, we have this corner here, so you can obviously see this corner, okay? Now, here's what you need to be careful of, okay? On this one here, only 2 of the corners are exposed. Or no, yeah, 2. So, on this one here, know that 3 of the corners are exposed, okay? That's how you want to recognize this, okay? And on this one over here, only 1 is exposed, and this only 2, okay? So know that 3 corners must be exposed to be able to see which one it is, okay? So that's what you need to do here, okay? Now, one other thing you need to do to make sure you don't get it mixed up with the other mirror one is the way you tell where this 1 by 2 bar is. Look closely at where the corner here is facing. So now the side directly behind it, which is right here, is where the bar is. So that means the bar is right there. And on this one, the bar is right here. So that's how you want to recognize this case here. So hopefully that all made sense to you, because there's quite a bit of information, you know. So that's what I have to say for that one. Okay, let's get on to this one here, okay? Now, this one is obviously super simple to tell from here. So, we have a 1x3 bar and a 1x2 bar, okay? So, that's what you need to look for on this, okay? Now, when it comes to this angle here, don't get it confused with this one here, okay? So, the way you want to look at it is, on this one here, the corner is right here is exposed. So, the blue's exposed, but on the other one, this corner is not exposed. So, that's how you want to recognize it from this angle, okay? So, now for this angle here, so this one angle here, you really, can't get anything else mixed up. So, if you see that there's a 1x2 bar right up next to, one of the edges that's solved, you automatically know it's this one, okay? So now, when we go in the back, we need to be careful. So I just mentioned this in the first one, but on this one, only one of the blue stickers is exposed. On this one over here, number 16 or 17, 2 are exposed, and then on that first one, 3 are exposed, okay? That's what you need to recognize there. So, okay, now on to the other mirror case. Look at which side the blue sticker is on, okay? So, what you want to do is, look at the side that the blue sticker is on, okay? The side that's directly behind this edge here. So on this side, the side that's directly behind it is where the 1x3 block is. So it's right here and here. So that's how you want to look at these cases here. So let's get to the last cases. Okay, so now, as for these cases here, it's really simple for these ones here. We have a 1x3 block here and nothing else over here. So that's how you recognize it from this angle, okay? Now, from this angle here, it's a little bit harder. So don't get it confused for the first one, okay? So the way we can get around this is, the first one has one corner exposed, and this one has 2 corners exposed, okay? So this corner right here, so it should not be exposed at all, just like this one is. So that's how you want to recognize it for this one here. When it comes in the back here, it's a little bit harder, okay? So it has 2 stickers exposed. This is 3 stickers. And then this other one has 1 sticker exposed. So that's how you recognize it from here, okay? And also, the mirrored one here, you want to look closely at which side the 2 blue stickers are on, okay? And whichever side is complete opposites, you know, which is this side, that's where the 1x3 bar is, okay? That's what you want to look for here. Now, when it comes to this angle here, you might end up getting it confused for this one here, okay? So, on this one here, the blue corner is exposed, but on this one, it's not exposed right here. So, that's how you recognize it, okay? So, you should not see another blue corner exposed here, okay? So, yeah. Alright, hopefully that all made sense to you. I'm sorry for how long this part took, but hopefully it'll help you. So, let's get to the next case. Alright, so this next set of cases here are number 18 and 19, okay? So, we have, number, 18 over here, okay? And then number 19 over here. So, now, these cases are basically just mirrored, cases, so they're not that hard, okay? So now, just to tell if it's one of them, okay, from the top, all we have to see is 2 solved, edges right here that are adjacent to each other. And 1 solved corner in the very front, like this, so it should kind of form this Y-type shape, okay? Now, the hardest part is just telling which way it is. So, what we see already is a 1x2 block, okay? Now, obviously, from this angle, it's super simple to tell which way it is. So, we know the block is right there and over here, okay? Now, when it comes to this angle, it's still pretty easy because we know the block is back there because that's the only place it can be. Same thing goes for this one over here. So, the block is in the back, okay? And if we see it from this angle, it's the same thing. We see the block is there, okay? And same for this. So it's not that hard. Now, when it comes over here, it's a little bit harder, okay? So when it comes to this angle, okay, we need to look at where the blue sticker on the back one is, okay? Now, go to the side it's on here, and then the side directly behind it right here is where the 1x2 block is. So for this one, it's over here, and this one is over here. So that's how you want to recognize this case for OLL. So let's get to the next case. Okay, so we have cases 20 and 21. So we have 20 over here and 21 over there, okay? Okay, so now these cases are simple as well, okay? Now, first off the back, to tell which one it is, just look at this here, okay? So all we see is all 4 of these pieces in the back solved, okay? So that's what we should see right off the bat, okay? Okay, so now here's how we need to recognize which way they go, okay? So we can automatically see which way it is just from the way the 1x2 blocks are going, okay? So that's how we want to tell it, okay? So on this way here, we can all still see which way it is, so we know there's a 1x2 block here, which will help you with your algorithms, okay? Now, over here, we can still tell very easily. Okay, so now this way is a little bit harder, okay? So, to tell this, okay, look at the blue, look at the corner with the blue sticker exposed. Okay, so the rest of the pieces have the 1x2 bars, okay? So that means there's one here, one here, one here, and one here, okay? So that's how we recognize this. It's a very simple case, so yeah, let's get to the next case. Okay, this next set of cases we have here are 22, 23, 24, and 25. Alright, so now these cases here, the first thing we need to tell for them is we have 2 pieces right here that are solved and adjacent to each other, and then one corner there, okay? So, I don't really know how to explain the shape, really, so that's what the shape looks like, okay? So, now, here's how we want to do this, okay? So, for these first 2 cases, we should see 1x2 blocks like this here, okay? So that's how we tell the cases like that. So yeah, that's how we really recognize it from like this angle, this angle, and this angle. Okay, it comes a little bit harder when you're in the way back. Okay, so let's just do this case, and just to note, it's gonna be the same thing for this case. Okay, so what you want to look for is this corner here. Now figure out which side the blue sticker is on. Okay. Now, if the blue sticker is facing away from this piece here, it means it's this one right here with the bars, okay? Now, if it's facing this way like that, that means it has just one 1x2 bar like that. So that's how we should look at these cases here, alright? Now, for this case here, we can easily tell it's this just from looking at this 1x2 bar, okay? Now, when it comes to this, we see that there's no 1x2 bar here, you know, so that automatically tells us it's this one here. And we can still tell it from this angle with the 1x2 bar. So, yeah, that's how we do it, and then this is the same as I went over right here, okay? So, that's how you're going to want to recognize this, so let's get to the next case. Okay, so now we have cases 26, 27, 28, and 29 here, okay? Now, these cases here, are not too hard to recognize. So, first right off the bat that we see on the top for all of them are, we have this, we have 2 edges solved that are across, and a corner here. So it kind of looks like an L shape, you know, sometimes it's a backwards L though. Okay, so now here's how we're going to be recognizing it, okay? So, alright, so now it's going to be the same thing for these other ones, so I won't worry about those. So let's just take a look at these, okay? So, now, the way we want to recognize it is, so, on this one we see we have a 1x2 bar here, and no 1x2 bar there, okay? So that'll tell us which one it is, whether it's this one here with 2 1x2 bars, or this one with just 1, okay? Now, over here we can still tell the same thing, you know, like that, and same thing there, okay? Okay, so now when it comes over here, it's a little bit harder. So now, just so you know, for both these 2 angles, okay, we have to look at the 1x2 bar. Now, look closely at it. What is the difference? Well, for the one that we have 2 1x2 bars, the other 1x2 bar is right here on the left, but on the other one, it's on the right, okay? So that's how we want to recognize the cases, okay? So whether it's on the left or the right, okay? So that's the main idea for this, okay? Now, obviously, it is going to be mirrored for this one here, okay? So, this one here, this time it's on the left, this time it's on the right. Okay, and one way we can get around this here is, for the one that we have here, okay, the bar should be touching this piece right here. But on this type over here, the bar should be away from it, like that, okay? So that's how we recognize those, so let's get to the next set of cases. Okay, so next we have here is case number 30, okay? Now, there's no other case that looks the same as this, okay? So, I'm just going to show you this real quick. So, all you need to see to know it's this case is look at the top, okay? If you see that only the corners are solved, but no edges are solved, so all corners solved, no edges solved, it's automatically this case. So, that's really all you got to look at this, okay? So, let's just get to the next case. Okay, right now we have cases 31 and 32 here, okay? These are some pretty easy cases here. So, what we should see on the top is we have these two edges in the back solved, and then we have a corner here solved and a corner in the front solved, okay? I don't really know what the shape is, that Y shape, you know, with an extra piece filled in, I guess. So that's how we recognize it from here. So, now, to recognize which is which here, so, now here's what we gotta do. So from this angle here, we see that we have two 1x2 bars, and over here we have none. So that's how we recognize it from this angle. Now, same thing applies for this angle and this angle. You know, you see no bar here, and there is a bar there. But over here is a little bit harder, okay? So this is the one that does have the bars, okay? So we don't see the blue stickers exposed over there, but we do over here, okay? So now, on this one here, we should see that we have the blue stickers, okay? And that will tell us it's this case here. So, pretty easy cases. So, let's get to the next set of cases. Okay, so we have cases 33 and 34 here. Now, the way to tell that it's these cases here, we should see that we have these two edges solved, and then we have corners that are solved right outside of them. So, they kind of looks like some M shapes, okay? So now, tell the difference here. From here, we see that we have 1x2 bars. We have it on the right here, and on the left there, okay? So that's how we can tell them here. Okay, now from this angle here, we don't see them, okay? All we have to do is see that it's not a bar here, and that means the bar is over there. And over here, it's this opposite of that. We see that there is a bar there, so that means we know it's that one there. When it comes to the back, it's a little bit harder, okay? So what you want to do is go to the side that the blue sticker is on right here. And then the side directly behind it is where the bar is. So that's how we tell this. So pretty simple as well. So let's get to the next case. Okay, so this next set of cases, we have 35, 36, 37, and 38 here, okay? Now, for these cases here, what we see right off the bat is we see that we have these two edges solved. We have this corner solved, and then we have the corner right next to it solved. So it kind of looks like a P-shaped, okay? So now, here's what we got to do, okay? So, from this angle here, we need to make sure we tell here. So, if we see that we have a 1x2 bar, that automatically means it's this case. And if we see we have a 1x3 bar instead, that means it's this case. Pretty simple. Over here, we have to look at the same thing. So, we see there's a 1x3 bar, which means it's automatically this case, and it's not this case. So, that's how we tell the difference. So, if we don't see one, it's this case. So, that's how you recognize it there. Same thing here. So, it's pretty simple, really. Okay, now, as for this angle, it's a little bit harder, okay? If you see that the blue sticker is exposed in the back on this corner, that means it's this case right here. But if it's not, it's this case. So, pretty simple cases, so let's get to the next case. Okay, so on these next cases here, we have our 39, 40, 41, and 42, okay? Okay, so, now, really the only thing we're looking at are, these two. So, it's the same thing on this, just, mirrored, of course. Okay, so, first off the back, what we should see here is, this kind of weird shape, I don't know what it is, but what we have is, two edges adjacent to each other solved, and then down here, we have, two corners that are solved, okay? So, I really don't know what the shape would be, you know, but anyway, it's pretty simple to recognize, okay? So, from this angle and this angle, we need to look for a 1x2 bar. Okay, if you see a 1x2 bar, we all automatically know it's this one, but if we don't, we know it's this one. So we recognize that from both of these angles, this angle and this angle, okay? These other ones are a little bit harder, okay? So when you look at it from this angle, if blue is exposed, okay, that means that it's this one here. But if it's not exposed, then it's this one. Alright, over here, we look at this corner, and it's the same thing, except it's kind of mirrored a little bit, or I don't know what the word is, but in this one here, if the blue is not exposed, it's this one right here. In this one over here, if blue is exposed, then it's this one. So, pretty simple cases, you know, it's the same thing on these ones over here, just mirrored image. So, yeah, let's get to the next cases. Alright, so now we have cases 43 and 44. Okay, so these are pretty simple cases to recognize, probably some of the easiest OLL cases. Okay, so right off the bat, we should see this kind of snake shape, you know, like kind of like a Z. I don't really know the best way to say it, but something like that, you know, where we have these two edges solved and then corners opposite from each other there. So it's pretty simple, okay? So that's what you should see right off the bat, okay? And here's what makes it really easy, okay? Is that, just from telling which side these corners are on, will tell you which case it is. So that's really all you need. So theoretically speaking, if you looked at it just from this, you could already see what it is. Just from looking at this, you already know. You don't even need to look at the rest of it, okay? That's what makes it so easy. So, yeah, that's how you're going to want to look at it, okay? So, now, on to how to actually apply it, okay? Now that you actually got to look at the cube a little bit for, okay? So, when we look at it from this angle here, we see that there's a 1x2 block, okay? And then directly on the other side, there's no block. So that's how you recognize it. And it can be recognized from any angle, okay? So, pretty much every angle, you know, you'll be able to see whether it's on this side or that side. So, that's how you recognize this case. So, let's get to the next case. Okay, so this next set of cases we have are 45 and 46. These are some other very easy cases to recognize. Okay, so now right off the bat on the back we should have these two edges solved and then two corners adjacent to each other in this fashion. So it kind of looks like a C, you know, kind of like that. Okay, so now this angle and this angle are the same just as well as this angle and this angle are the same. So it's not going to be that hard, okay? So you automatically see that, okay? Now, there's a 1x3 block here and nothing over here. Okay, to tell if there's a 1x3 block, you should see absolutely no blue sticker there. So you shouldn't see a blue sticker there that's exposed. And same thing with this other angle, okay? Now, if you see it from this angle, it makes it a little bit easier. You can already see it's a 1x3 bar. Okay, now for this one here, the blue sticker is exposed, and that means that it's this one here. And it's also easy if it's like this, so it just makes it a little bit easier. So that's how we want to recognize these cases, so let's get to the next set of cases. Okay, so these next cases we have are 47 and 48, alright? These are also very easy cases to recognize, so we have these two edges solved here, and unlike the other one where the two corners solved were like this, they're like this now. So it forms these T shapes, okay? Now, that's what we need to see right off the bat, okay? And just like the last one, the angles like this are the same as this, okay? Because it's kind of a symmetrical algorithm, okay? So, the way we recognize this is, it's easy to recognize it here because we see that we have a 1x2 block here and we don't have one here, alright? Same thing goes for the other side over here, okay? Alright, now, same thing goes over here, you know, we can see that there's a 1x2 block, or no, there's not one there, but there is one here. So really, that's what it all comes down to. You just gotta look for a 1x2 block on either side of it, which will tell you how it is, and it works for any angle. So, yeah, let's get to the next set of cases. Okay, this next set of cases are 49 and 50. These are some other very easy cases to recognize, okay? So, for these ones here, as you can see, all the edges are solved, alright? And, now, to recognize them, for this one here, there's only two angles we gotta that have different recognitions. So, basically, the difference is, on this one here, you can see that the blue edge is exposed, but it's not exposed here, okay? So, that goes for the other side as well. So, it's really not that hard. And over here, you know, if you see this, you know, you should never see only one blue sticker on this one, okay? So really, it should either be you see two on one side, or you see a random number of them, okay? So if it's exactly two on just one side and none on the others, that means it's automatically this case. And if you see another wacky number, I guess it goes in this case. So it's not that hard. So yeah, let's get to the next case. Okay, so now we have cases 51 and 52, alright? So, for both of these cases, right off the bat, we see that we have a cross on the top, so all the edges are solved, and one corner is solved. And from this, they will look identical to each other, but that's not the way we need to recognize them. Alright, so for recognition, it's not that hard, you know. You just need to look at the way the edges are. Or no, sorry, the corners, okay? So, there's one of them where the blue will be on the left, and the other one they'll be on the right, okay? So, just look very closely at which side they go on. So, just pick a corner, look at which side the blue is on, and that tells you which one it is. It's on the right, okay? And this time it's on the left. So that's how you recognize the two. It's really not that hard, and it's kind of the same thing. So, yeah, let's get to the next case. Okay, we got 53 and 54 here. Now, there's really no recognition between these two, you know, but since they're kind of the same thing, you know, I'm just going to put them into one spot, okay? So, for this one here, all you see is, you see that, we have, we have this across, you know, and all the corners are solved, you know, and on this one, they're adjacent, but these are across. Okay, so this one kind of looks like an eye, and this, I don't know what it looks like, so they're really, the same thing, okay? You know, just know that this is across and this is adjacent, so, with all the corners solved, so, no recognition between the two. I just thought it'd be good to combine them into one part. So, yeah, let's get to the next case. Okay, so we have, 55 and 56 now. So, these are also very easy cases to recognize. So, right off the bat, we see we have the cross, and we have two corners solved that are adjacent to each other. And that's what we see on both of them, and it's very easy, okay? So when we look at it from this angle, if blue is exposed, it's number 56, but if it's not exposed, then it's this one, 55, okay? So, and then looking at it from these angles, it's easier to recognize, so it's 55 and 56. So 55 is where you can see the two blue corners, but this one you can only see one blue sticker there. So yeah, pretty simple, you know, same thing for these sides. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So let's get on to the last case. Okay, the last case we have here is case 57. Okay, so in this one here, all the edges are solved and two of the corners are solved, but instead of adjacent to each other, they are opposite from each other, or across. Okay, now it's very simple to recognize. You'll automatically know that just from looking at the top layer that it's this one. But one thing is, you might need to know which side you got to go to start your algorithm, so you don't apply it in the wrong spot. Okay? So the way we want to take a look at that is like this. Okay? So on this angle here, oops, wait, let's do this angle. So we see that there's no blue there, but there's a blue here. Okay? So what you basically need to look for is the piece here. Okay? So we'll know that the blue's over here, you know, and it's over here just from having them hidden like that, okay? So, it's kind of hard to explain, really, you know, but, that's basically what it is, okay? So, when you look at it like this, you'll either see the two stickers, or on this side, you won't see them, okay? On this side, you'll see one, and this side, you'll see the other. So, you should be able to distinguish which way you gotta go from that. So, yeah. So, that's the last case I have to show you. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you to learn OLL. So, now, I do recommend you learn PLL recognition before this, you know, because, that's going to help you out the most, okay, even though this stuff is easier, you know. So, yeah, that's all I have to say here, you know. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys on my next video.